To understand what an advertisement is, we must first understand what advertising is. The definition of advertising is an industry used to call the attention of the public to something, typically a product or service. The definition of advertisement is the means of communication in which a product, brand, or service is promoted to a viewership in order to attract interest, engagement, and sales. Advertisements, often shortened to ads or adverts, come in many forms, from copy to interactive video, and have evolved to become a crucial feature of the app marketplace. Advertisements are a guaranteed method of reaching an audience. By creating an engaging ad, and spending enough to reach your target users, advertisements can have an immediate impact on business. Advertising, the techniques and practices used to bring products, services, opinions, or causes to public notice for the purpose of persuading the public to respond in a certain way toward what is advertised. Most advertising involves promoting a good that is for sale, often through brand marketing, but similar methods are used to encourage people to drive safely, to support various charities, or to vote for political candidates, among many other examples. In many countries, advertising is the most important source of income for the media, example newspapers, magazines, or television stations, through which it is conducted. In the non-communist world, advertising has become a large and important service industry. In the ancient and medieval world, such advertising as existed was conducted by word of mouth. The first step toward modern advertising came with the development of printing in the 15th and 16th centuries. In the 17th century, weekly newspapers in London began to carry advertisements, and by the 18th century such advertising was flourishing. The great expansion of business in the 19th century was accompanied by the growth of an advertising industry. It was that century, primarily in the United States, that saw the establishment of advertising agencies. The first agencies were, in essence, brokers for space in newspapers. But by the early 20th century, agencies became involved in producing the advertising message itself, including copy and artwork, and by the 1920s agencies had come into being that could plan and execute complete advertising campaigns, from initial research to copy preparation to placement in various media. Advertising developed in a variety of media. Perhaps the most basic was the newspaper, offering advertisers large circulations, a readership located close to the advertiser's place of business, and the opportunity to alter their advertisements on a frequent and regular basis. Magazines, the other chief print medium, may be of general interest or they may be aimed at specific audiences, such as people interested in outdoor sports or computers or literature, and offer the manufacturers of products of particular interest to such people the chance to make contact with their most likely customers. Many national magazines publish regional editions, permitting a more selective targeting of advertisements. In Western industrial nations, television and radio became the most pervasive media. Although in some countries radio and television are state-run and accept no advertising, in others advertisers are able to buy short spots of time, usually a minute or less in duration. Advertising spots are broadcast between or during regular programs, at moments sometimes specified by the advertiser and sometimes left up to the broadcaster. For advertisers, the most important facts about a given television or radio program are the size and composition of its audience. The size of the audience determines the amount of money the broadcaster can charge an advertiser, and the composition of the audience determines the advertiser's choice as to when a certain message, directed at a certain segment of the public, should be run. The other advertising media include direct mail, which can make a highly detailed and personalized appeal, outdoor billboards and posters, transit advertising, which can reach the millions of users of mass transit systems, and miscellaneous media, including dealer displays and promotional items such as matchbooks or calendars. In the 21st century, with an intensely competitive consumer market, advertisers increasingly use digital technology to call greater attention to products. In 2009, for example, the world's first video advertisements to be embedded in a print publication appeared in Entertainment Weekly magazine. The thin battery-powered screen implanted in the page could store up to 40 minutes of video via duct chip technology and automatically began to play when the reader opened the page. See also History of Publishing, Marketing. Jane Falkenberg explaining the benefits of cooking and baking with Roper's gas range in a television advertisement that aired in 1965 during a commercial break in the sitcom The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. Public domain video. For an advertisement to be effective, its production and placement must be based on a knowledge of the public and a skilled use of the media. Advertising agencies serve to orchestrate complex campaigns whose strategies of media use are based on research into consumer behavior and demographic analysis of the market area. A strategy will combine creativity in the production of the advertising messages with canny scheduling and placement, so that the messages are seen by, and will have an effect on, the people the advertiser most wants to address. Given a fixed budget, advertisers face a basic choice: they can have their message seen or heard by many people fewer times, or by fewer people many times. This and other strategic decisions are made in light of tests of the effectiveness of advertising campaigns. There is no dispute over the power of advertising to inform consumers of what products are available. In a free market economy, effective advertising is essential to a company's survival, for unless consumers know about a company's product, they are unlikely to buy it. In criticism of advertising, it has been argued that the consumer must pay for the cost of advertising in the form of higher prices for goods. Against this point, it is argued that advertising enables goods to be mass-marketed, thereby bringing prices down. It has been argued that the cost of major advertising campaigns is such that few firms can afford them, thus helping these firms to dominate the market. On the other hand, whereas smaller firms may not be able to compete with larger ones at a national level, advertising at the local level or online enables them to hold their own. Finally, it has been argued that advertisers exercise an undue influence over the regular contents of the media they employ, the editorial stance of a newspaper or the subject of a television show. In response, it has been pointed out that such influence is counteracted, at least in the case of financially strong media firms, by the advertiser's reliance on the media to convey a message. Any compromise of the integrity of a media firm might result in a smaller audience for the advertising. Companies today have access to a wide variety of advertising options. Advertisements can reach customers in various places, including while watching television, traveling through town, or browsing the internet. To determine which types of advertising best suits its needs, a company may need to consider numerous factors, such as budgets or the consumers it wants to target. Advertising is a component of a company's marketing strategy. Companies use advertising to share information about their products or services through various media. The advertising landscape has changed with technology, with print and broadcast advertising serving as the traditional format and digital advertising serving as a more modern option. With technology, companies gain new ways of targeting consumers and tracking the effectiveness of their advertising campaigns. Print advertising refers to printed advertisements, often seen in newspapers and magazines. However, this category also includes other printed materials, such as brochures, directories, and flyers. Companies can place advertisements in local newspapers, whether throughout the paper or within the classified section, to target consumers within a geographic location. For a more targeted audience, companies may seek advertising opportunities in magazines. Specialty magazines can help a company reach a specific group or type of people. For example, a company that sells golf equipment would place ads in magazines for golf enthusiasts because they know that audience is more likely to appreciate their product. Magazine advertising can also offer a better visual experience for consumers, as the full-page opportunities allow for more color and high-production images than newspaper advertisements. Direct mail is a type of print advertising that sends advertisements to customers through the mail. Examples include brochures, catalogs, newsletters, and flyers. This approach enables companies to identify an even more targeted market than other print advertising formats because it distributes ads via a direct mailing list. For example, someone who opens a hair salon can create a flyer that announces their grand opening. They can then send that flyer to a list of residents located within 5 miles of the salon. To attract new customers, the owner can also include a discount coupon with the mailer. Television advertising is a type of broadcast advertising where companies advertise their products or services through 20, 30 or 60-second TV commercials. It can be costly but enables companies to repeat their advertisements regularly. The costs to air television commercials can vary due to the following factors: the ad length, the time of day, the television show, frequency of airing, the geographic reach, the number of networks. For example, it is much more costly to air a commercial during a widely watched event, such as the Super Bowl. While consumers now have the ability to skip advertisements on their televisions, it still serves as an effective method of reaching a large audience. Repeating advertisements help build recognition and brand awareness, and even if consumers are not watching the ads, they may still be listening to them. Radio is another form of broadcast advertising that plays ads during programming breaks. Customers can listen to radio advertisements while conducting other activities, such as driving or doing household chores. Like television, radio enables the repetition of advertisements, which can give companies more recognition with consumers. Companies can research what radio stations are popular with their target customers. They can also learn what times of day these customers listen to the radio most. For example, they may try to advertise during a morning time slot when they know many of their customers will be driving to work. In podcast advertising, companies can sponsor podcasts or have advertisements for their products or services played during the episodes. Typically, podcasts play ads at the beginning, middle, and end of episodes. Similar to radio advertising, companies can research which podcasts are most popular with their target audience. Some podcast hosts read from a script provided by the company or create their own, which can be an entertaining way for listeners to consume advertising content. Often, companies will offer a discount code available to listeners of a podcast. Besides attracting new customers, this code can help companies assess how well this advertising strategy works based on its use. Mobile advertising reaches consumers through any mobile device with internet connectivity, such as a cell phone or tablet. These advertisements may appear to consumers through social media, on web pages or within apps. For example, a customer playing a mobile game may receive ads for similar games between gameplay rounds. The benefit is that these advertisements can reach consumers no matter where they are. If individuals enable location settings, companies may even be able to target them via geographic location. Another way companies conduct mobile advertising is by combining it with print advertisements using QR codes. When consumers see a QR code in a magazine, they can scan it using their mobile device. It could then take them to the brand's website or offer them a coupon. Companies use social media advertising to promote their products or services on various platforms. Social media advertising, like other digital advertising, enables companies to target specific audiences. They may focus on reaching customers based on their geographic location, age group, or buying habits. They can either pay for the platforms to promote their advertisements, or they can use more organic methods. For example, a small business can use organic social media advertising by asking its followers to like and reshare one of their posts. They then may pick a participant at random to receive a discount or gift. Today's businesses also utilize online influencers, bloggers, or celebrities to create posts promoting their brands or products. Rather than full advertising campaigns, these methods may serve as more cost-effective techniques that enable the business to spread awareness of their brand. Paid search is a type of online advertising, sometimes referred to as pay-per-click, PPC, advertising. Companies that use PPC advertising only pay a fee when users click on their ad. They bid on specific keywords, usually related to their business, along with the placement of their ad on the search engine. For example, a company that sells folding bicycles includes the keyword foldable bikes in its bid. When users search that phrase, the company's products appear as an ad within the search results, typically at the top of the page. Native advertising is a type of digital advertising in which ads look similar to the rest of the page content. Pay-per-click advertisements can serve as a form of native advertising because the advertised product often blends in with the other results. Businesses enjoy using this format because it does not interrupt the user experience, unlike display advertising. For example, a website that publishes articles about professional development may also include sponsored articles. These look the same as the articles published by the site's writers and editors but came from a business looking to promote its products or services. A reader may find an article about time management tips and realize later that it is a sponsored post from a company that sells time tracking software. In this scenario, the company also would likely mention or advertise its software within the article's content. Display advertising is a type of digital advertising that uses identifiable ads. These may include banner ads at the tops or sides of web pages and pop-up ads. Another example would be the video ads that appear before or during streaming video content. Display advertising encourages users to click on them to move to the company's website, often to make a purchase. These advertisements are very prevalent online, though sometimes that can make them easy for consumers to ignore. One method used in display advertising is remarketing or retargeting. When users visit a brand's website, they often accept browser cookies that allow the site to track their journey. If the user decides not to purchase anything on the site, the brand may target that customer and place ads for their products on other websites to remind them to return and buy the item. Outdoor advertising refers to advertisements that consumers see outside their homes. As a result, this type of advertising is sometimes called out-of-home advertising. Examples include billboards and advertisements seen in public places or transit vehicles, such as on the sides of buses or inside subway cars. Outdoor advertising aims to catch the attention of a large population. Usually, these ads help businesses build their brand awareness within a geographic location. The space allotted to outdoor advertisements may be limited, as can the amount of time a consumer takes to view the advertisements. Typically, these ads use bold images and fewer words so that the content is easily understood. Guerrilla advertising refers to less conventional methods that are generally low cost and employ creative techniques to draw attention. A common strategy in this category is ambient advertising, in which a company places ads in public places but uses an unconventional manner. For example, rather than advertising on a bus stop, a company may paint a mural on the sidewalk advertising their services. Guerrilla marketing sometimes invites public interaction or participation. For example, the advertisement may encourage individuals to take a photo with the ad and post it on social media using a hashtag. That is why companies using guerrilla advertising aim for eye-catching ads to entice consumers to interact with their content. Advertising via word of mouth can serve as an effective and less costly way for companies to build brand awareness. In product placement advertising, a company pays to have their product embedded in media content, such as a television show or movie. The content sometimes does not explicitly mention the product, but it is viewable by the audience. This method can help companies reach targeted groups more discreetly. For example, a soda brand may want to target teenagers. They can pay to have their beverages advertised via product placement in a popular teen film franchise. Characters in the film who drink soda will drink that company's beverage, and the label will be visible. The characters may mention the beverage brand, but not necessarily. Public service advertising refers to advertisements that promote a cause or initiative rather than a product. Often called public service announcements, PSAs, these ads aim to inform the public about a topic in a way that benefits them or others. Organizations can use public service advertising in various formats, such as television, radio, or online video advertising. Providers will donate airtime to these ads, though they must meet particular requirements to qualify as a PSA. This type of advertising often is used by government agencies or charitable organizations to educate consumers on health and safety topics. For example, the Centers for Disease Control airs PSAs to inform citizens of the necessity to take health screenings or prepare for natural disasters. Thank you for watching this video.